Beowulf, fitt. 39, in modern English. So it went hardly with the younger man, that he beheld the most beloved on the ground, suffering miserably at the end of life. His destroyer, the terrible cave dragon, lay also bereft of life, overwhelmed by ruin. No longer might the coiled serpent have power over the hoard of treasures, but iron blades, the hard, battle-dinted result of forging, had destroyed him, so that he who could fly far and wide had fallen motionless from his wounds upon the ground, hard by his treasure-house. Not at all did he whirl flying through the air at midnight and show himself proud of his rich treasures, but on the earth he fell by the war-prince's power of hand. So far as I have heard, indeed, no man of might, daring though he might be in every sort of deed, could prevail to rush against the venomous flow's blast, or ransack with his hands the hall of rings, if on the mount he found the guardian watching. By Beowulf the mass of the splendid treasures was paid for with death. Both had travelled to the end of fitful life. Not long after was it that the laggards in battle left the wood, 10 cowardly traitors together, who had shrunk from wielding their spears in their lord's great need. But in shame they bore their shields, their war-harness, to where the old chief lay, and gazed on Beowulf. This warrior sat exhausted by the shoulders of his lord, and tried to rally him with water, but it availed him nothing. He could not keep on earth the chieftain's spirit, much though he wished it, nor alter anything ordained by the Almighty. For men of all degrees God's judgment ruled their deeds, just as it still does now. Then a severe retort came promptly from the youthful hero for such as had lacked courage. Beowulf, the son of Weohstan, spoke out. The man, sick at heart, looked on the hated ones. Lo, this can he say who wills to speak the truth, that the Lord of men who gave you those costly things, the war-harness that you stand therein, when the chieftain gave many a time on his ale-bench helmets and corslets, the trustiest he could find, far or near to his thanes sitting in hall, that he completely threw away that armour, woefully, when war befell him. No reason had the king to boast about his comrades in the field, yet God, master of victories, granted him that single-handed he might avenge himself with the sword when prowess was needed of him. Poorly was I able to act as bodyguard for him in the fight, and yet I made a start beyond my power to help my kinsman. When with the sword I struck the deadly foe, he ever was the weaker, the fire welled forth less strongly from his head. Too few defenders thronged around the prince when the time of hardship came upon him. Now shall the receiving of treasure and gifts of swords, all joy of ownership and comfort, be wanting to your race. Each man of your family will have to wander, shorn of his landed possessions, as soon as nobles far and wide hear of your flight, your despicable act. Better is death to every one of noble birth than an inglorious life.